So I'm currently working on a huge project that's going to be coming out probably in the next month or two. It's a long challenge run that has taken me quite some time. So I figured in the meantime I would do a quick and easy challenge run just so I could, get it all out of the way and, have something out there for my 90 viewers to eat. So we decided bow only. Of course, after killing Oscar, it's time to go to the Asylum Demon and immediately start attacking him. It only takes me about, let's say, I don't know, 21 arrows to kill him. Not too bad. It's the Asylum Demon, early game boss. But it starts to ramp up a lot faster than you would expect. Honestly, bow only has been some of the most fun I've had in Dark Souls 1. And I still have other challenge runs lined up. We then go ahead and make it to Firelink Shrine, which isn't too far away, and I level up some strength and dexterity. Though I couldn't figure out what would be the better option, as it turns out strength and dexterity both work for the bows. Regardless, I go and I talk to the merchant and buy quite a few of arrows from him. Specifically, 225 wooden arrows. Because why not? I don't know. Wouldn't you buy some arrows?
You kind.
Anyways, next up is the Taurus Demon, and the Taurus Demon goes down quite easily. Honestly, I was I used a lot of my flasks in this fight because I couldn't aim for anything at all. I was mainly aiming down sights to fight most of the bosses, but after that we go and find Andre. It's time to go ahead and level up our weapon. We get it to a nice, well, +2. Yeah, there's not much more about it. I didn't have any of the ingredients to get more. But the gargoyles go down quite easily as well. I don't do too bad of damage, a nice solid 65, which they have what I think about a couple thousand health each, maybe 1200. But in the end, one actually gets stuck in a little motion of just breathing fire in the exact same spot over and over again. And well, when they're stuck and you have a bow and arrow, they kind of go down quite easily. I'm I'm not really sure what else you could say about that. How many Souls YouTubers do you think use the Bells of Awakening and say, "Hey, ring the bell for my channel"? I feel it's a lot. I wouldn't know though. Anyways, we go to the Darkroot Forest and grab the Wolf Ring for the Capra Demon fight later on, and we also go and pay the Moonlight Butterfly a visit. Honestly, it really wasn't too hard of a fight. I have a ranged weapon, and if you don't know, ranged weapons are great against this boss. If you only have a regular, like, sword or hammer, you gotta wait for it to float down, because it floats down. But something I have noticed is that when I'm using the bow, I start to hit the wall when it goes down if I'm not close enough. So to fix that, I just aim in and I finish the job myself. Honestly, I feel like butterfly soup could be a really good thing, especially since that moonlight butterfly is a bug. And speaking of bugs, we have the arachnid, the Chaos Witch Quelaag, which I end up stagger locking after realizing you can shoot her body with the bow. I knew this existed, but I really didn't use it often. So I decided to go and ring the second bell of awakening. But after that, it's time to pay our boy Ceaseless Discharge a visit, and we get to see he has a very nice fall. It's my favorite season of the year as well, right behind summer. I like summer. Do you guys like summer? What's your favorite season? Personally, I know a lot of people like autumn and winter, but I like fall. And I know that's autumn, but I like summer. Anyways, we go in as I was talking about the Capra Demon fight. Honestly, the Capra Demon fight was a first try victory. Once I cleared the dogs out, just kept backstepping away from the Capra Demon, and it was finished. I couldn't really say much more about it. Another one that was quite easy is the Gaping Dragon. Gaping Dragon also went pretty well. I mean, you lure its head down, shoot its head once, move out of the way, and you go on with your business. But next up, we have to make sure to get Laurentius, because we have to save him. Get Power Within for some extra damage, level up the longbow to +10, and it's on to the Stray Demon. Stray Demon and Gwyn gave me the most difficulties in this challenge. I'm not kidding you. I died to the Stray Demon and Gwyn the most in this entire challenge. I don't even know how. Immediately after the Stray Demon, we grab the Peculiar Doll and we go down to the Catacombs. Now, you can obviously see that we're going to fight Pinwheel, but I have one thing that I noticed. Pinwheel is really a hit or miss for me. Either I take a lot of damage from him, or I take, like, nothing. And I normally fight him early on before I go to, Anilando, so I can have the 20 flasks. But I don't understand why sometimes his fireballs one-shot me and sometimes they don't. I know in this instance I'm wearing the gold-hemmed leggings, and I also switched to the gold-hemmed cloak later on, but it just feels like he's either he's kind of like a glass cannon, even though he's a necromancer. That's odd. But this is the most engaging fight you'll find with Pinwheel, as I'm using a bow against him instead of a regular one-shot, weapon or three-shot weapon. So, take your picks. What do you think the mask I'm going to get is? Will it be the mask of the father, the mask of the child, or the mask of the mother? For those who answered child or mother, I'm sorry, but you are just unfortunately wrong. It is the mask of the father. When I don't need it. Anyways, the Iron Golem. You can actually stagger the Iron Golem with a bow. I didn't know that. As you can see here, he does his thing. But my friend Kangaroo was in the call with me, and I had the question, do you think I can do enough damage to make him fall? Yes. Yes, I can. I didn't know you could do that with bows. I didn't know they even really had poise damage until this instance, when I realized they did. Of course, the Iron Golem isn't too hard of a fight to begin with, but the fact that you can do poise damage with the bow gave me some quite good knowledge for later on down the line. And it actually helped me in a couple of boss fights, which I will be showing you one later on, of course. Anyways, Ornstein and Smough goes by, it was about, I think, a 15-minute fight, maybe. I don't remember the exact time, but it did take quite a long while to fight them. I was originally going to go against Smough mainly and then deal with Super Ornstein, because Ornstein normally dodges arrows. But as you saw, he kind of got a little stagger there, and I thought, oh, well, if I could just keep on hitting him and pelting him with arrows after he attacks, I should be fine. And something really funny happens during this fight, and I'll showcase that in a second. But I just have to say, the fact that I'm able to shoot Ornstein and him not dodge sometimes is quite funny. And the fact that he's one of the very few bosses that do dodge your arrows is also just funny to me. But oh, this was a first try victory. I was not expecting it to happen to begin with. But then I noticed something odd. I thought the DS hitboxes were bad, but apparently I was wrong. Because that should have absolutely hit me there. But it didn't. I have no clue why. Kangaroo was in the call as well, and we were just both like, wow, how did that not hit me? And it just, the fact it didn't, I guess the hitboxes in this fight are not as bad as I thought. Considering the one time I was doing soul level 1, Smough ended up hitting me with the back of his shovel hammer, and it killed me. That's fun. I loved that. Oh, check out my soul level 1 playlist in the description down below. It's quite fun, honestly. But all things end and all things come. Gold to the glory, and, well, Smough dies. I go and I grab the Lord Vessel from the Guinevere herself, and then I make my way to the Painted World and I decide to fight Priscilla. Honestly, Priscilla wasn't too hard of a fight. I don't think I even got hit during this. I think the only damage was from Power Within. But when she turns invisible, arrows are your friend because, well, you can see the arrows off of her. This fight was fun. Then there's Gwendolyn. Him and his twink magic killed me about 3 times. Still not as much as the Stray Demon or Gwyn, but it did give me a run for my money. In the end, of course, the Dark Sun becomes Set. Why would you make me do this? I don't like Old Yeller. It's a stupid movie and a stupid book. Miyazaki, why? Why? We make it to the Grand Archives and we kill Seath the Scaleless. Honestly, slow moving boss plus bow at this point, it's dead. He's dead. It's not really much hard. A Lord Soul, not really worthy of being a Lord, let's be honest here. But, what is worthy of being a Lord Soul is the Sanctuary Guardian. Guardian Sanctuary. I love this guy. He's so cool. He's still my favorite DLC boss when it comes down to just fun fights. But, I still have to kill him in order to get to Oolacile Sanctuary. But first, we go back and we grab the very large ember so I can get a plus 15 bow. Honestly, a plus 15 bow makes a huge difference, but I also got the achievement for making it plus 15, which I forgot to show. But, Gravelord Nito gave me a lot of trouble as well. He is tied for right under Stray Demon for the annoyances, because you can see how much damage I do to the skeletons, and I'm using a Divine Bow. My thought process was, hey, even though I'm doing a little damage, I could still kill them. Or Nito can, and then that makes them respawn. This gave me a lot of trouble during his fight. Honestly, it took me forever to whittle them down, and it took like nearly all my flasks, multiple attempts just to do this. I finally got Nito down in the end, but man, who would have thought that Nito would actually be hard as a fight? Not me. Definitely not me. Nito's normally one of the easier of the Lord Souls. The fact Seath went better than Nito is crazy. Normally I die to Seath. Anyways, next up is Artorias, and I'm just going to let this fight play out on its own. This was a first try victory, and I'm very proud of it. I died to Manus a couple times, but in the end, I learned a couple of fun things about it. So even though his magic thing, I never really pick up the pendant, I learned when he does this specific move, raising both his hand and fist in the air, you could stagger him with a bow. I think that's crazy. I didn't know about that until I started using bows. This is just insane. And I hinted at that with the Iron Golem, but that happened more than once. You could do the same thing with Calamite, my dusk. You could do the same thing with Calamite. While it did happen during the boss fight of Calamite, I kind of messed up in the editing showing it. So just take my word for it. If you hit his middle eye somehow, some way, you actually do a stagger where he kind of like goes on his hind legs and does a little shake off. Because it hurts. You just shot him in the eye. You very rude chosen undead. Also, the fact he does little bunny hops is kind of cool. I never noticed that before. Maybe because I'm not ranged. But I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to showcase the full fight for the Four Kings just to show how easy it was, quote unquote, and how fun it was. I thought these would give me a lot of trouble, but in the end, they fell quite easily, honestly. I expected the Fire Sage Demon to go a lot worse because of the fact that Stray Demon killed me so many times, but in the end, they were actually quite easy. But something else was interesting after this boss fight. When I went to fight the Centipede Demon, I discovered the Centipede Demon had an actually different move I've never seen him perform before. And here's my literal live reaction with Friend in the call.
So that didn't hit you. You're doing a lot of damage. You got hit by a cut off arm. Wow.
Ooh, what the fuck attack is that?
Oh, that's a first. I've never seen that attack before.
He threw a
I didn't
fireball?
know he can throw
Motherfucker threw a
fireballs.
fireball? I didn't know you could throw a fireball. That's the Calamity Ring. There, okay. Excuse
Wow.
me? A
Okay, I
fireball?
knew.
After the Centipede Demon, it's time for the Bed of Chaos. I always do the right side first because you can actually jump the ledge on the left side, and I only learned that around my third playthrough. But I do end up doing the quit out method just so I can actually get through it, honestly. I didn't want to have to do the backtracking and dying repetitively, so I just didn't. Also, if you're wondering why my stuff's broken, I got hit by a Chaos Eater or whatever that toilet bowl thing is a couple times, and then it broke my stuff. But a first try victory on the Better Chaos is really not much to me. I don't find this boss to really be RNG for the most part. I actually find it to be quite skillful. As you can see, easy, done, and in and out within not even like 4 minutes. This is at 4 times speed. That's insane. After dying to Gwyn for an hour and a half straight, I said, you know what? I'm going to use the in arena cheese method where you can jump on this ledge and pelt him with arrows. And you know what? I think I've deserved it. I think I earned it because the amount of times I've fought Gwyn using parry, not parrying, at soul level 1, I've done him hitless. I think for once I get some cheese, alright? I think I'm deserving that. If you don't like it, that's fine. I could probably do it with bow only, but this is 9 hours into a run I didn't take a break from. This was just a straight 9 hour long session of just me doing this. So I was a little tired, I was a little upset, and I started to crash out against Gwyn. Anyways, in the end, all 26 bosses fell. This was probably one of the most fun challenges I've had in Dark Souls. I've I've done weird challenges before, like Undead Burg items only, or the Hammer Time challenge, stuff like that. I've done that. It's not bad. It's quite fun. I do have a couple of challenges lined up. The only thing is, the reason why I'm pumping this challenge out is, as I said, I have a huge project going on right now, and it's going to be a long video. It's going to take a couple months to finish, or a couple weeks to finish. That being said, have a good one, take care, and remember to throw those fireballs and always free aim them. Have a good one. Goodbye.